Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make informed decisions. Guys, I truly believe this is the biggest opportunity in history for the average person to change their financial future. But you got to have the information you need. So on this channel, we're non-biased. And my money doesn't care about my feelings, and your money and crypto doesn't care about your feelings. It actually doesn't even care about your thoughts, because me and you don't get to pick winners and losers. Just because it's our favorite project or it's, we like it, doesn't mean that the governments, Wall Street, and the legacy banks agree with us. It doesn't mean that it's going to get any adoption whatsoever. It doesn't mean it's going to make any money. It doesn't mean it has good tokenomics. I could go on and on. But guys, if you're serious about educating yourself, which most people watching YouTube has no interest in videos like this. They just want to be lied to. Tell me I get a Lambo, tell me when, and tell me what to buy. And that's why 90% of the people get wrecked. Well, I'm catering to that 10% that want to make money. And guys, I didn't know. I was in crypto for over a year before I realized that when I was debating people about projects, that we weren't debating the best investment. They're debating the best tech or the speed or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. Here's all I care about. I care about what is the best investment in this bull run. I'm going to stack in the bear and in the bull, and I'm going to sell everything before this bull run is over. So I don't care about 10 years from now or 20 years from now. And if you are a hodler, you definitely need to watch this video. I'm not going to talk you out of being a hodler, but you at least have to understand how to do the research that gives you the probability of what to hodl. And that's going to be this video, guys. And this is going to help everyone make better decisions. And it's really going to help you of what to stack or what not to stack, but definitely when and why to take profits. So hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Okay, guys, the first thing you have to do is zoom out. Look at the big picture. What am I dealing with, right? Well, the second thing is, who am I dealing with, right? Who are the competitors? Who are the players? See, that's the number one thing I see influencers not doing. They can tell you 1,000 reasons why they love their project or that it's going to win or whatever, and how many, how much adoptions and partnerships or whatever. And then you go, okay, what about the competition? There is no competition. Well, see, that just that out of the, right out of the gate means you've done no research. Everything has competition, and people don't realize this. And I don't like it, guys. It was highly disappointed to find this stuff out and to see it every day. But the number one players in crypto, for the most part, the top people, the most dominant players, guys, they're corporations. They have projects that you've never heard of, that you have no idea about, because no one talks about them. I'm one of the very few. Go look up FIS Global and look what they're doing in crypto. They dominate payments. There's only a few people that even remotely on their level, and that would be like JP Morgan. Go look up Galaxy Digital and see what they're doing for tokenized assets and atomic settlement. It'll blow you away. They are so far, have better tech and a better roadmap. Can they pull it off? I don't know. But they're leading the way. One of the major players. So anyway, I'm going to give you some examples of what that looks like, of finding out who the players are. And then we're going to talk about who has the advantage? What's their niche, right? What's their advantage? Maybe it is the tech, the new tech, but is that enough to give you the probability of winning? So we're going to put all of that together. Then we're going to look at charts and talk about how that plays in your research. And then we're going to talk about history, because history is basically the best way to predict the future. So, that being said, let's zoom back and say, okay, right now in crypto, what are the best projects? Well, we can go look I'm talking about the ones that crypto influencers talk about. We can go look at the top 10, the top 100, top 1,000. We can go to crypto bubbles, right? We can look at charts. But that's half the equation. Most people would say, well, okay, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, you've got XRP, its tech's the best. ICP, oh my God, it's changing the world. Render, whatever. Okay, they got it. They're good for what we know. But then you go, well, okay, who dominates now? That's where that advantage question comes. Who is dominating whatever it is that Web 2, who's dominating Web 2 and has the lead or the advantage going into Web 3? Okay, we'll start with payments. When you compare any upstart project, any, to say the JP Morgans of the world, there's no comparison. When you compare them to FIS Global, there's no comparison. There is no tech that they don't have. There is nothing they're not accomplishing as far as their roadmap that anyone else has. But here's the difference. The volume they do is more volume in a day than any of the upstarts remotely do. Most of them hasn't even done it in a lifetime. And they have all the customers. They have all the partnerships. So no matter how sexy the influencer tells you their project is when they do their research, they didn't do any research to tell you what matters and then tell you about the competition. What I see in crypto, especially with the influencers, it's like betting on the Super Bowl for your favorite football team because they're from New York, like I'm from Atlanta. So you'd be like, Atlanta's going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to bet my life savings on it. That's how you get rich. It's going to be Atlanta. And you say, why? Well, I talked to the coach. Coach is amazing. The coach said they're going to win the Super Bowl. They have the number 3 running back. They have the number 8 quarterback. Their whole offensive line is 300 pounds. And you go, really? Well, let's just say it's Miami that I am going to pick for the Super Bowl. And you say, why is that, Ray? Thought you were from Atlanta. Atlanta's amazing this year. Well, those linemen you talked about, they're 350 pounds from Miami. That coach has won 5 Super Bowls. Their quarterback is the number 1 quarterback. Their 3 running backs are in the top 10. They have a wide receiver that is the fastest person and has the most catches in the entire NFL. They've scored more than all other top 10 competitors combined in the last year. They've scored more touchdowns. They've completed more passes. They've ran for more yards. That's who I'm putting my money on. Now, does that mean that, and it's really a good example, good metaphor, does that mean that Miami's going to win? No. So one quarterback could break his arm the first play, right? Coach could call in sick. Who knows? Anything could happen. It's football. You could get 2 or 3 fumbles, right? You could get a couple of interceptions. But we don't bet on that. especially big money, real money, right? If you want to just flip a coin and not do any research, just buy a couple of meme coins and hey, hopefully it works out. But either way, take your profits, right? That's why people get wrecked in crypto. They just don't take their profits. A lot of people are successful. So anyway, that's payments. What if you want to talk about real world assets, right? Guys, I already know who's going to win real world assets, at least for the next 10 years. It's not even really debatable if you ask me. Now, after that, who knows? There could be tech being created today. But you have to ask yourself, guys, how is any tech, because look, the tech is going to be comparable across the board, no matter what people tell you. It's just software and code, and no matter how sexy or good it sounds, it's going to be duplicated. And so think about this. BlackRock primarily is using Ondo, but no matter what, they're using Ethereum as the base layer. Same with JP Morgan. They basically run a side chain of Ethereum. They pay gas fees, right? A lot of the layer twos. I think I just saw, and I'm doing this by memory, Arbitrum just got a big contract of some big player, I really can't remember, for tokenized assets. That's a big deal. Well, guys, that's Ethereum. You got to look at the ecosystem. That's another thing, right? When you zoom out, too many people want, if you're going to compare a layer one to another layer one, that's like you got to compare the football team, guys. It's not boxing, right? Just because your layer one is faster and more scalable or whatever, well, Ethereum has what? God, who knows? 25 layer twos that all pay gas fees. They're all growing their ecosystem, which indirectly or really directly grows Ethereum. The more money they make, the more money Ethereum makes. That's another thing you got to look at if you're a hodler. Most projects, I mean most, by far, can't support themselves. And when they get fully diluted, they're going to die. That's just a fact. Because that's the thing about 0.0002 of a penny. You do 1 trillion transactions and you only made a couple $1 million. Ethereum makes that in hours. That feeds an ecosystem, right? You got to compare the ecosystem. Now, so when you zoom out, right, you'll realize that the probability of one of these upstarts, right, like, oh, the ISO tokens, XRP is going to overthrow Swift. No, it's not. Not even remotely possible. And if it is, not in this bull run. So that's one thing influencers want to argue. They keep moving the goalpost. Why are we even concerned about 10 years from now? Buy Bitcoin, cut off your computer, and live your life. But you don't stack anything else long term, in my opinion. Why would you? Why would you possibly watch, $10,000 turn into $150,000 and ride it all the way back down to $14,000 and wait for 4 years and hope regulation or technology doesn't come out to kill that project, right? You got to play the odds. Guys, if you go back to 2017, out of the top 100 projects, only 20 made a new all-time high in the next bull run. And in this bull run from 2021, I can almost promise you that out of that last top 100, probably be 15, maybe 10. Hell, well, it won't be 5 because you got 5 that I can name. But guys, the competition's changing every day. You got to play the risk, but you have to understand the risk before you can even make the decision. And again, if you want to hodl, hodl. But I'm telling you, you need to take profits. Anyway, bear with me. All right. Let's talk about the charts. You know, I used to work with like 500 guys in the room, watching them all trade, and they're all act like they know everything, and they sound like they do, until you work with them. And they're like, I told you this was an ABC up. I told you this stochastic what was low and you should have bought all this. It's like, but did you? No, they didn't, because technical is hindsight. Now, it can give you foresight for sure, and they do matter. But for me, even when I trade, like I trade almost every day, I want my technicals to line up with my fundamentals. In the bull market, you want to favor longs. You want to buy more, buy the dip type mentality. That immediately puts your probabilities up probably 65, 70% of ability to win. In a bear market, I short every pump. I don't buy, realistically, I don't buy anything in the bear market as a trade. Now, I may stack it. I do stack in the bear market. That's two different things. But charts do have their place. And no matter what we want to do is we want to win the probability race, right? So, I mean, there's endless opportunities, and it's hard to compare these, and we're going to talk about that. And that's why this video is so important. I want a reason to take it off my plate, right? So if I have 10 tokens and I have one with one red flag, take it out. As long as we have other better options, why would you even think about it, right? So when I look at the historical chart and it's in a historical bull market, okay, that tells me something positive. Look at this chart for Bitcoin. That is a bull market. Pretty much anyone that's ever bought Bitcoin is good. If you bought Bitcoin back in 2017, you either made like a 40x or a 70x. In 2017, that's life-changing money for most people, right? You put in 10,000, you have maybe 700,000. It's a lot of money, guys. You put in 1,000, you have 50, 60, 70. It's a lot of money. Now, let's flip that. This is a bear market. What makes you think that that chart right there is the future? It's in a historical bear market. Let's look at it. If you bought XRP anytime in 2017, you either lost about 80%, and a few people, depending on when, may be up less than a 1x if they bought at the bottom. But the odds are they bought the pump. Like 90% of all people that own this chart have bought from this chart have lost money. I'm not one of it. I trade it every day. That's why I follow it so much. That's why I am so informed. But guys, again, gets back to game plan. And I don't want to get off topic. Why would you not take profits? Why would you hold this? Imagine the guy that bought XRP at $3.91 and it's 7 years going on 8, and he hasn't even he can't even get 25% of his money back after 7 years. Take it off your list. Why? It's not the best option. And you can see anything can happen. Yeah. Could XRP take off tomorrow and make a new all-time highs? Yeah, there's a slight chance it could. Anything can happen. But why would I tie up my money for 10 years? Think about the difference. This guy right here, if you're sitting around 2017 and one guy bought XRP and one guy bought Bitcoin, one guy's starting at this bull run with a 50, 60, 70x, and now all he's got to do is even do a 5x, and he's probably, got retirement money. See the difference? It's opportunity cost. Look at this. You go, oh, well, whatever example, like a lot of people like to use the SEC lawsuit as an example. Okay, that proves my point. That's why you don't HODL. Regulation, technology changes, Black swans. Why would you want to hold something 7 years? Especially when you already had a 10x, 50x, whatever. Look at VeChain, or yeah, VeChain was one of the best projects out there, guys. It was. Didn't even remotely make an all-time high in the last bull run. And guys, VeChain still is considered a blue chip among a lot of people. I don't think it's ever going to see a new all-time high. There's no narrative I can think of that would make VeChain successful. Theta Network. And guys, again, I don't care about your feelings. If you own these, hold them. Buy more. I don't care. It's your money. I just want to show you what you're dealing with, try to educate you. And if you want to take your money serious and you want to get in that 10%, this video is for you. But look at this, guys. What indication do we have that you're getting your money back if you bought Theta in 2021? Look at Internet Computer. The people probably from right here up, really from anyone that bought ICP probably in September of 2021 all the way back to its beginning probably are not going to get their money back ever. Does that look like a chart that's going to be the future? Oh, but people do their research and it's the best, and they give you 1,000 reasons why it's the best tech. I don't care. It's not that right there almost guarantees that is not the best investment. That being said, I own ICP. I did it as a swing trade. I may do it again because, guys, it's beat down. Guys, check this out. This is bizarre. It's pushing the lows of the bear market. It's probably going to pump again. It's probably a 2 or 3x off the bottom like that. I may swing trade it, but I don't believe it's going to lead the bull run. I don't think it. I don't remotely think it's not even my top 50 of best investments. So that covers the big picture. That covers the charts. Now, what else? Well, history. Let's talk about history, guys. Now, one good thing about being older is you can be a lot more wise because you've been around, right? So I was around for the 2000 .com bust. And if you go back, and I did a video on this, I'll try to find it and post it if you want to watch it. In 1999, there were the top 100 IPOs that exploded, guys. It's almost exactly like crypto. Everyone was making money. Everyone. 25-year-old guys out of Silicon Valley was getting rich that day, literally. The IPOs, stuff would come out at $2 or $3 and it would rip to, $100. Life-changing money in stocks because it was the new world. The internet's going to change the game. And the internet did. But I went back and looked at that top 100. There's not one company that still exists that is remotely worth what it was in 1999. Almost all of them disappeared, and the ones that stayed merged into like a bigger company. Now, that being said, yes, we got Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. Companies like that came out of the .com bust. But guys, there's 2,000 or 3,000, which is a lot of choices. Crypto has 2.5 million projects out there. Now, granted, most of them are meme coins, but there's still 100,000 legit projects out there, and they're changing and being added every day. We don't know who's going to win this battle. I mean, we can do the probabilities. I mean, Bitcoin's not going anywhere, and if Bitcoin goes somewhere, we're all, we just made bad decisions, right? Ethereum has too much ecosystem. I find it virtually impossible that it doesn't dominate for the next 10 years. because of its ecosystem, right? You know, people go, oh, Polygon's a good project, Arbitrum's a good project. You know, all these great projects are built on Ethereum, right? Quant, I love Quant, built on Ethereum, right? And I don't think Quant is the future anymore. I don't think it's gonna probably even make a new all-time high. That's why I sold my Quant. I don't care though. I'm non-biased. I love Quant. There's nothing about Quant I don't like, right? There's nothing about H-bar I don't like. But I'm going to sell my H-bar a lot earlier in this bull run than expected. But I probably will buy it back 2 or 3 years from now in the bear market because I think it has a chance to be a long-term HODL. But if it runs to 25, 35, 50 cents in this bull run, why would I possibly not take that money? Because I almost guarantee you, as much as I love H-bar, I don't care if it runs to $2 in this bull run. It's coming back down to 5 cents in 2000 and say 2026, the middle of 2026. It's almost a guarantee, and there are no guarantees in crypto, and I could be wrong, but who cares? We'll worry about that now. So I highly recommend everyone consider not hodling these projects. You know, I just had a guy, and man, I get beat up in my comment section. People in crypto call any negative information or any facts like ICP is in a bear market. It is. That's what a bear chart looks like. That's non-negotiable. You can't call that a bull market, right? Historical, it's in a bear market. That's a fact, but people just light you up in the comment section. I forgot where I was going with that information. But guys, one thing you have to do is also learn to compare these projects, right? Compare the team, compare the utility, compare the tokenomics, compare the adoption, right? Compare the hype and compare the influencers that are pumping them. And guys, again, anything can happen in crypto, but for your portfolio, in my opinion, you have to go with the probabilities. And the probability is, for instance, the flow of money, for the most part, is controlled by JP Morgan. They're the biggest bank in the world outside of a China government-run bank. It's the biggest bank in the world. It owns 39.7% of the Fed. It's arguably, with BlackRock, one of the most, if not, you could argue the fact that it's the most dominant, most powerful company in the world. It has a direct line to the White House. In 2008, when the .com, or not the .com, when the real estate went belly up and the stock market crashed, and it was just brutal, guess who they called? They called the president of and it was Jamie Dimon, the president of, they called the CEO of JP Morgan and the CEO of Goldman Sachs, called them to the White House and said, hey, how are you going to get us out of this financial crisis? Tell us what to do. And they did. So whether we like it or not, I mean, JP Morgan, I want you to think about something. And guys, I don't like Jamie Dimon at all, and I hate the fact that we can't get in on more that they're taking from our opportunity. I hate that, but it is what it is. Guys, we've already had a collapse that no one even witnessed. We had 396 banks collapse like 18 months ago. Most people don't even know it. It was in the news for like 5 days. And guess where those banks went? They didn't totally die. They got bought in one day by JP Morgan. JP Morgan owns more banks, for instance, than XRP has partnerships with, by like 10 times more. So how are you going to dominate them? And people talk about, oh, and I'm not ragging on XRP. I know it comes up a lot. But the facts are, it sounds great that some company has 400 banking partners until you realize the competition has 4,000 banks they own. And they have the same partners that that small company has. That's what I want to convey to you guys. Zoom out. And if you do any research whatsoever on Wall Street and the governments and the legacy banks of what they're doing, just like Swift, Swift's roadmap is powerful. Now, Link will benefit majorly, 10x more than all the other ISO tokens combined. They may get their share. It's not going to move the needle for them. It's going to move the needle for Swift. Nobody's overthrowing Swift, right? Now, I've said this and I'm going to let you go. Guys, you hear so much BS from people that just don't have a clue, that haven't done any research. I'm going to give you an example. I truly believe 98% of these tokens are going to disappear, and that Wall Street and the governments and the legacy banks are going to dominate crypto. They already are, and they don't need any of this tech, this independent tech. Now, they may end up using a lot of it, but here's a perfect example. BRICS and the BIS. I'm not even going to get into the BS crap that, the XRP influencers have been pushing. All the money's going to run on XRP rails, and, they're going to use the ledger. Well, then Brad himself comes out and says, hey, we will have nothing to do with Russia, and they're part of BRICS. So they're not using HODL or any of that. And guess what they just did, guys? They came out with the M-Bridge, atomic settlement. No token needed. I said that 2 years ago because, unfortunately, that's where JP Morgan said is the future, is atomic settlement. The majority of projects and majority of applications are going to be atomic settlement. That's where you tokenize my money. You tokenize, say, your deed to your house, and it gets switched on the ledger. They created that ledger. That is probably the future unless they come out with something better. You're not going to have the redundancy of 27 different tokens for money to move around the world. They're going to use stable coins, and they're going to probably use their rails. Well, why would I say that? Well, let's think about it, guys. If I have the stable coin in my bank, which would be the future, you can easily do that. I'm talking about for the masses, when it goes mainstream. Most people don't want a digital wallet. And you got your money at JP Morgan, a bank, or Regions, or Bank of America, right? You have a stable coin on your credit card with Visa. Well, they're going to use those rails, their rails, and they're going to be insured. So yes, me and you, I can tokenize my cash and you can tokenize your deed, and we can do that transaction. We can do it independently of anyone, or we can do it on secured rails, whoever that is, it's insured. And if I don't get that deed, I know who to call. And I'm guaranteed everyone wants a safety net. That decentralized part, the world doesn't want decentralization. No one wants to send $1 billion without someone to call when that doesn't arrive. That's just the fact. Now, maybe 25 years from now, when all the young kids grow up and become, dominant world leaders, and that's just what they're used to, maybe it does. But again, guys, this information is to help you for this bull run. Well, I'm not going to concern myself about the following bull run until we finish with this one. So, guys, make your money now. When you look at, this chart right here, most people that's been in crypto for 7 years are rich. Not on paper. They're wealthy. because they bought good projects. And what else did they do? The most important thing, they took those profits. So when XRP's made plenty of millionaires. These people, they were smart enough to sell. These people, smart enough to sell. These people, hey, I just sold my XRP. I love XRP. I make money. I've probably made more money, I'm being serious, off of it trading XRP than anything else. My best swing trade by far was the previous announcement, not the last one. I did okay with this announcement. It was very disappointing. And then I shorted it. But the previous one, I did a 3.5, almost 4x on leverage. It was a no-brainer, right? XRP gets beat down again. I mean, it's getting close already. When it gets back 50 cents, under 50 cents, we have the Swell conference coming. I'll buy it again. There's going to be some crazy news come out. Everybody go crazy. It'll probably pump again. Then I'll sell it. Then I'll go short. I'm getting sidetracked. But guys, I really hope that this gives you some information about how to look at projects. It's not just, XRP or Quant or HBAR or Ethereum competing. It's Wall Street. It's the JP Morgan coin. It's base. Base, you can't buy base, you can't buy the JP Morgan coin. But if you add those together, they probably do more than 98% of all the other blockchains combined, just those two, right? When you take out Ethereum and Bitcoin, I know they do way more than Solana, right? Easily. And Solana is one of the top blockchains out there as far as volume. But when it comes to moving money, guys, the JP Morgan and FIS Global, guys, they move together. They move like 25 trillion a day. So think about that. How are you going to catch those guys? FIS Global already has instant settlement. They have liquidity pool. They have all that stuff. And they have the customers. They do trillions and trillions of dollars. Most projects, most competitors, especially all the up-and-coming ones, they may never do $1 trillion in a lifetime. These players do it every day. Anyway, guys, if y'all need some help understanding this, how to get a game plan and stuff like that, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250 for 3 phone or Zoom calls. I think it'll help you out a lot. But whether you take me up on that or not, guys, learn to do some research. Understand the competition. Because if you understand, for instance, that Swift has a game plan that looks good and is very competitive technology-wise, and they have all the customers and they're one of the dominant players ever, they're not going anywhere. No one's going to overthrow Swift, and damn sure not in this bull run, which is all we should be caring about, right? And guys, again, this is just reality. No one cares what you feel. No one cares what you think. That's between you and your portfolio and your money. Guys, we don't matter. The whales, the institutions, the same power players that run the world right now are going to dominate crypto. Now, all these projects may get their share, but here's another thing, and I'll let you go. I just did a video talking about, now that we understand from the SEC that pretty much with the court case from Ripple that they won, cryptos for the most part are not securities. They're commodities. We got to think of those as commodities. I used to be a commodity trader. I was a licensed commodity trader. I did a video. I'll leave it at the end. You should watch it. It's going to help you a lot. If you like to learn, guys, and you want to get in that 10% that make money and not the 90% that lose money, you got to do some research. You got to get an education, guys. I say that with love. That's why I started this channel. I do my research for me, and I share with my community. and my research is non-biased. And if it's doesn't lead you into the best investment, I'm going to tell you. I don't care if it's the best tech. I don't care about anything else. I care about probabilities of making me more money. I highly recommend you consider that type of mentality. Now, if it's working for you, by all means. But I look at these influencers pumping the same damn tokens they were pumping 2 years ago. Guys, I love H-bar. I have a big bag of H-bar, but I'm not stacking more. Why? A lot's changed. A whole lot's changed. We didn't have a fraction of the competition 2 years ago. And guys, the odds are the token that leads this bull run hasn't even been launched yet, right? Wait till altcoin season happens, right? Bitcoin dominance starts going down and the big money starts to roll into altcoins. The things that get launched, they're going to absolutely rip. And you don't want to have all your money tied up in tokens and lose that opportunity cost because you don't have any money on the side because you haven't been taking profits. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope this helped. I know I got a little long in the tooth. Hit the like button, share with like-minded people. Let me know what you think. But no matter what, guys, subscribe and be part of this community. Take care.